Go. All right, Larry Kudlow is now with us. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the National Economic Council Director, and he joins us now. All set, Larry? Here we go. Here's my interpretation. I'm going to start with my point of view on the jobs. You knew I was going to do this. I think it's very, very modest job growth in a slowing economy, which is being slowed by uncertainty over China trade. Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead.
You're wrong.
Well, expound on that, will you?
No, Stuart, you know I have the greatest respect for you. Nobody better in the business. Look, let me just try to illuminate these numbers. 130,000 payrolls. It's a solid number. It's not a spectacular number. By the way, seasonally, the August print usually comes in low and then is revised higher. But let's not get into that. Here's the story. Here is the story, okay? The household survey, from which unemployment rates are derived. Household survey tends to be smaller businesses, newer businesses, and a leading indicator exploded. 590,000 new jobs in the household survey. That is virtually unprecedented, Stuart, and this is the third straight month, okay? Let me read you 373,000 average. 373,000 average for the last 3 months. This is from the household survey. Blowout number, shows you the real health. Another number, I want to say the civilian labor force. Up 571,000. Again, the third straight month. The average is 425. What does that mean, the civilian labor force? That is people coming back in to the reported labor force. We sometimes say they're coming out of the woodwork. The household survey at 590, the increase of civilian labor force 571 tells me that America is working. And that is so important. And final point, Stu, final point. On the wage issue, average hourly earnings, 12-month change is 3.2%. But in the last 3 months, all right, while we've seen an explosion in the small business household survey and an explosion in new labor force entrants, the wage rate for the last 3 months at an annual rate is 4.2%. So I'm just going to say this. America's working. America is getting paid well. America is spending and saving and producing. So I think this is a dynamite report, but you got to look under the hood.
Okay.
Many analysts don't.
Dynamite report. Okay.
You're lucky. You're lucky to have me on here. I used to do this for a living. So
Larry, I'm still doing it for a living. Okay.
We can look under the hood and find these numbers. But I'm really quite serious. I'm not just being political here. These are actual factual numbers that need to be covered because they tell a much different story than the headline.
Okay. The other part of my opinion, which I expressed a moment ago, is the economy is slowing, in part because of uncertainty over China trade. What can you tell us about China trade, the conversations that you've been having, the telephone calls that have been made, the meetings that's going to take place next month? How would you characterize the state of these trade negotiations? And while we're on the subject, is there a chance that after these meetings there will be a very modest agreement on buying our agricultural products and we drop the tariffs, and then continue talking on the more substantive issues of intellectual property theft, that kind of thing? Where are we going here?
Well, okay. Look, I don't want to predict outcomes. I'll just say this. Kudlow axiom, always better to talk than not to talk. So even though going back to May, we were disappointed, we thought we were closing in on an agreement, and our Chinese friends withdrew, all right? But we've been in communication with them the whole time. And so now, after the phone call earlier this week with Secretary Mnuchin and Ambassador Lighthizer and Vice Premier Liu He and his team, it was decided that the deputies on both teams will convene here in Washington, D.C. Later this month, and that the principal negotiators, again, Mr. Mnuchin and Mr. Lighthizer, will join Liu He and his team, I suppose, in early October. It hasn't been set yet. That by itself is a very good thing, a very good thing. So we are back now to the table.
Are the negotiations calm? Is the atmosphere calm between the two sides? You're not shouting and screaming?
Look, if they were yelling and screaming, they wouldn't come. I don't know. It's an 18-hour plane flight. I've made it a couple times. They're coming. That's a very good thing.
Is there any indication from those phone calls that China is prepared to go back to where it was before they reneged?
Well, look, I cannot possibly be specific on that. Those, negotiations, tricky business, like labor negotiations, one step at a time, 1 point at a time. Coming back to the table is a good thing. Now, so far as I know, in my conversation with my colleagues, all the topics will be on the table. I mean, we would prefer that we go back to May, where we were maybe 90% home on a deal. But we'll see. I don't want to predict. I don't want to suggest anything. Last evening and this morning, I spoke to my colleagues, Mnuchin and Lighthizer, on this very point. You can rest assured, Stuart, that everything will be on the table. You can rest assured, for example, the absolute key structural issues, the IP theft, the forced transfer of technology, the cyberspace, the clouds, financial services, all that would be on the table. Agriculture purchases, industrial purchases, energy purchases, getting tariff and non-tariff barriers down so China opens its economy. That's what America wants. President Trump is determined to defend American economy and its workforce. And we must do this because of China's unfair trading practices, which we've discussed. But we're going to have this whole broad-based discussion. And we'll see what happens. Look, our economy is very strong. Their economy is not. Okay? They're lowering the yuan renminbi. That essentially neutralizes any impact on our consumers, but it puts China in a very bad place. They have capital flight and disinvestment. I don't want to go into that in detail. I'm just saying we think they need a deal. President Trump thinks they need a deal. President Trump has said recently, every day recently, he would make a deal as long as it's a good deal for the United States. Okay. Hopefully it would be a good deal for both countries. President Trump believes China would like a deal, but it will be hammered out. I mean, if I may, we have the best negotiators in the business, all right? If I may, Bob Lighthizer is the best trade guy in the business. And incidentally, I know we never talk about this, right in front of us, as Congress comes back in session, there's a USMCA, Mexico, Canada, USA deal that would add at least 0.5 point to our GDP with a couple of 100,000 jobs every month. That would be fantastic. We announced at the G7 in France, I was over there, the outline of a deal with Japan. That deal may be finished and announced in entirety at the UN meetings coming up in a couple of weeks. And heck, we even sold some beef to the European Union. They said it couldn't be done, and I think those talks are continuing. Okay. So by lowering trade barriers, that is pro-growth, that is the president's vision, but he insists there has to be reciprocity, and he's got to defend this country's economy and its workforce.
Are we going to get back to 3% growth? First quarter of the year, 3%. Second quarter, 2%. The New York Times this morning saying a period of sluggish growth looks more likely for the immediate future. Are you predicting a bounce back to 3% growth in the third and maybe fourth quarters of the year?
I like what I see, Stu. I like what I see. As I said, I think underneath the hood, these job numbers were very powerful. I thought the ISM services release was an absolute blowout. Absolute blowout. Conference Board consumer confidence, absolute blowout, especially, by the way, in the jobs category. Now, we've seen a little softness in production, durable goods, and cap spending. Some sort. That happens along a cycle, you go up and down. I noticed durable goods, particularly the core, is now picking up. The order books are rising by better than 6% annually over the past 3 months. I like that very, very much. Wages, salaries. Here's another one for you, Stu. Productivity. Now, I'll go 8 quarters. 8 quarters, 1.8%. That's a tremendous increase from the prior, 10 years or more. And employment growth is 1.3% over 8 quarters. The reason I say that is, as a rule of thumb, back of the envelope, real GDP equals productivity plus employment growth. That gets you to over 3% right now. So if we remove some of the monetary obstacles and we continue our incentives with low tax rates and rollback of regulations and cheap and plentiful energy, I'm going to play this on the bullish side. I'm sure you're shocked to hear that. I'm going to play what Stu Varney, whatever your number is, I'm going to take the over, as I always do.
And you've been relatively right. So
not bad.
I give you that. Not bad.
Some Kudlow forecasts are better than others over the last 40 years, but so
some
far
Varney
I'm hanging in
opinions
there.
Some Varney opinions are better than others, and I might add that as well. That's an absolute fact. Larry, I'm afraid we're out of time, but we do appreciate it always when you're on the show.
Thank you, Stu.
Thank you, sir.
Great pleasure.
See you again, Sue.
Thank you.
Okay.